Okay, before I start reviewing ROH, the TV show this week, they started off the program with the main event of Supercard of Honor. They showed the last few moments of the match between Jay Briscoe and Kevin Steen, which was for the ROH World Title, which was won by Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe being your new ROH World Champion. And you look at this, and you look at how this came to be. When I first found out about this, it was like Friday night, or it was late Friday night. I heard it from Metal D. He texted me that Jay Briscoe had won the ROH World Title, and I'm just like, really? It's like I didn't think, God, Jay Briscoe, a singles world champion? Well, then I got to thinking about it, and it's just like, God, this, it really makes a lot of sense. And it's something that should have been done a long time ago. The Briscoe brothers should have broken up the tag team probably, God, you could probably say like maybe 2-3 years ago. But you could honestly say that Jay Briscoe is probably one of the only people that you can legitimately see that would be a guy to beat Kevin Steen. I mean, he's been in ROH since day one, him and his brother Mark. I will get to talking about Mark later, but as far as this match, I mean, Kevin Steen basically threw the kitchen sink at him. He hit him with the F sink. He hit him with the package pile driver, and Scum tried to interfere. They were cut off of the pass by the ROH roster. Hell, even Veda Scott got involved in it. But I thought what was interesting is that Matt Hardy tried to interfere, tried to nail the twist of fate on Briscoe, but Kevin Steen kicked him in the gut and threw him out of the ring. So I guess I don't really know what to make of it at all, but Jay Briscoe ended up getting the pin. They actually shook hands at the end of the match, so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens going forward with that. Is Kevin Steen going to be out of Scum? Is he going to feud with Matt Hardy? What's going on there? But enough about that. Let's get into the television show itself. So the opening segment was Nigel McGuinness in the ring, and you got a lot of the ROH roster around the ring itself, and then he introduces Jay Briscoe as the new world champion. Briscoe cuts a little promo about how he didn't really think about being a world champion because he can still consider himself a tag team wrestler, and he just wanted to be part of the best wrestling company in the world. Well, I think that's kind of a debatable segment, but I digress. But he gets the "You deserve it" chance from the crowd, and it's like, yeah, I think he does. He does deserve a run of the world title and see. I've always been interested to see what Jay Briscoe can do as a singles wrestler, and we're gonna find out here in the next few months or so, I guess. But he's got his first challenger. Adam Cole is stepping up to the plate, and he's challenging him for a match at Border Wars, which is coming up in about 3 weeks on May the 4th. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see where they go with Jay Briscoe being the champion and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Okay, well, your first match of the night was one half of the American Wolves, diehard Eddie Edwards, against one half of Red Dragon, the ROH Tag Team Champions, Bobby Fish. And what Kevin Kelly did mention is that they are actually a tag team in Pro Wrestling Noah over in Japan. Kelly made mention of it, and as far as this match goes, at first I thought this match went too long, but I thought it was more like about a 20-minute match or something like that, but it really only went about 14-15 minutes. But there was a spot where it looked like Edwards got hurt after he tried a moonsault, and he looked like he cracked his ankle on the guardrail outside. But Fish ended up winning clean, and after Edwards did a double stomp off the rope, and he ended up getting rolled up, and that was all she wrote. So as far as how Fish and Edwards are in the ring, I mean, this was a good match, I thought. I mean, even if it was a little chop heavy at times, especially by Edwards, and then you had your little bit of no selling between both Fish and Edwards, but that's kind of like par for the course for an ROH match now, isn't it? Alright, and then there was a tag team match between Alabama Attitude, Mike Posey, and Corey Hollis. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Mike Posey a referee in WWE at one time? I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am. Leave your comments down below if you would. Against God's Gift, QT Marshall, and the barrister R.D. Evans. Never knew R.D. Evans was a wrestler, but I guess he is. I thought he was just a manager, but he had a little promo before the match started, and to me, R.D. Evans looked like a rejected Power Ranger. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where the hell he got that get up at, but and he also should be sued for gimmick infringement. He did freaking push-ups in the ring in the middle of the match. Scott Steiner would be rolling around in his grave, but if he were dead, but he's not. Scott Steiner is very much alive. Thank you very much. But well, one thing about this match, what you can definitely say is that this is a very dysfunctional tag team, and people thought that Team Hell No was very dysfunctional. Maybe they were in some regards, but not to this degree. God's Gift, QT Marshall did most of the heavy lifting, while in fact he got the finisher on I think it was Hollis. I don't really know. I don't really care. But after Marshall got his finisher on, R.D. Evans came in and picked up the scraps, and he got the pinfall. So your winners are the barrister R.D. Evans and QT Marshall, God's Gift. What a dysfunctional team they are. Alright, so then your main event of the show was a 5-man scramble match between Mike Mondo and Mark Briscoe and Coleman Alexander and BJ Whitmer. But first, Roderick Strong ends up coming down to the ring, and he wonders why he's not in the match. He's done everything that ROH officials have asked of him. First of all, why the hell does Roderick Strong have a mic? Roderick Strong should not be talking, period. I mean, I have nothing against his wrestling ability. He's a pretty damn good wrestler, but he shouldn't be doing any talking. I'm just throwing that out there. But he more or less puts over 4 of the 5 contestants in the match, but when it comes to Mike Mondo, he thinks he's not worthy at all to be in the match, so you have this little pull-apart that they have before the match even starts, but once the match does start, match only went about 7 minutes, but there's a lot of action in those 7 minutes. And then I believe it was Cedric Alexander went for a superplex. He nailed that, but Mark Briscoe ends up hitting the froggy bow, and your winner and #1 contender for the World TV title is Mark Briscoe. He will be taking on Matt Taven at Border Wars for the ROH World TV title, so it's a good night for the Briscoes. Well, my final thoughts on this show, I did like that opening segment where Jay Briscoe is now the ROH World Champion. This has been a long time coming, I think. And then you got Mark Briscoe, who's going to be going for the World TV title, so this is a very good decision by ROH. It looks like they're splitting up the Briscoe brothers into singles competition. It's something that should have been done a long time ago. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with Jay Briscoe moving forward as their champion, and what's going to happen with Scum and Kevin Steen. Will there be a match between Kevin Steen and Matt Hardy at some point? You almost have to think so. Maybe Scum's going to kick Steen out of the group, and then which would make Steen a fan favorite. This might be a slow moving thing, kind of like they did with Michael Elgin last year, turning him face against the House of Truth. So, but anyway, this is Marvelous Mark, and I will talk to you later. See ya.